for me, whenever I have law enforcement questions, there are two go-tos, and everybody watches the channel has heard me talk about both of them. One is Nate Brody, for obvious reasons, former cop in New York, also a prosecutor. He's always an interesting one to talk to. And the second is Pat Lowinger, who is with us today. So let's bring him out. Pat, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Which means Nate wasn't available today, so I'm here.
Well, you told him. Damn. Shoot. Okay. Yep.
I wasn't supposed to mention that we weren't able to get Nate. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
It's the B roster. This is Pat is not. Pat is definitely not on the B list. Pat is. In fact, Pat, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience in this and one of the reasons why we. Now, your channel is Discovering History with Pat Lowinger, but that is actually not why you're on.
That's not why I'm here. It's the furthest reason for why I'm here today. So prior to becoming, many of you know me as like your happy historian and archaeologist. Prior to that career shift, I was a police officer in Southeast Los Angeles. Became a cop in the mid-90s. Worked until my retirement in 2012. After which I went back to school and did everything that most people on YouTube know me for. But during that time, I worked a variety of assignments, everything from what we call uniform patrol through specialized assignment. I was part of what we'd call the gang unit back in the day. I also worked in our training unit. I was both a field training officer, which means I trained young officers. I also did like academy training. In addition to that, I was a firearms and tactical instructor. I was a member of our tactical team and at one point an element leader of a tactical team. And I've trained a variety of agencies across Southeast LA, Riverside County, San Diego County, worked in Arizona. So I'm familiar with several agencies, even outside of California, some of the rules, regs, and laws and state constitutional issues that you have. So all I can say is I kind of have a well-rounded career. I'm not a specialist in any one area. Maybe on the tactical side of things, I was part of towards the end of my career, I was part of the lethal use of force in our department, our expert team, basically reviewing policy and, how we're going to address a transfer from back then in the 2000s was how are we getting away from like a use of force continuum to a use of force options chart, which was kind of like, do we have to always escalate in a certain way, or can we just jump from, the beginning to the end if we need to? And we looked at policies and training that would address that, in addition to a variety of issues with really what was emerging was mass shooting events. I was part of our active shooter training program for several years and actually had some experience dealing with those scenarios in real time.